million times you want back. Phones that got up. Now there's nothing. It's for the thought that make you holler. And I wanna dance. Awesome. Phones got nothing. These are the times that you did on my kind. I know you're in need. And you're yeah. You gotta face that you made, baby.
Magic Johnson, and it's Gilmore in the center position. Here's James following the screen by Miami.
Girls that hold us down.
Jordan, right side.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
How about Melo
What the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Game 1, baby, we in a mixie, you heard? Let's go, I'm in the finals, baby. I'm high. I'm fucking high. I'm in the fucking finals, nigga. Throw my body. Oh, shit.
And the dunk by Jordan. But he's trailing by 3. Now, here's Johnson. And the call is going to be...
Oh, shit.
Yes, it is an illegal screen. Let's take this chance now to
start that shit, okay.
Scoring lead. Look at the franchise.
Hey,
leading the league in points per game. Such a great play.
And I'm leading the playoffs in scoring.
Mavericks leading by 3. Nowitzki outside. Pass to Jordan. Goes up on the wing. Johnson with the rebound.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
There's Gilmore. Now here's Anthony. Goes back up. Gm1 with the rebound. Robertson with it. It's Johnson picking him up. James.
Hell no.
Miami with the rebound.
The third quarter has not started well. Just
Get the fuck out of here. I can catch that shit one hand over KD.
great getting to the backside for the pass.
Timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. He wants to talk to his guy. But he's trailed by 5. Here's Hastings. He's got 10. Durant finds Anthony. Here's Hastings. Gets the whistle. 4-6. The first one falls.
Running the ball like 4 core. I think he can't
A great player, a great role. There's got to be careful about being too aggressive on him and
push it.
It's like he just
I tried to do the right side of the room. Word up, just touch your love. Just like you say you gon' blow. How'd he make that?
I do the most, my bag of most. When you come from where I come from, you can do a rag too. Shoot 'em up quick with the bag do. They can't even find that last dude or the last man. He's a Chris fan. Do my murder dance when you murder man. Nigga, give me head. In love with you too many. First me, you look better when you first me. Come on, they got a virgin. Get a hot get pop, 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 pop. Till it start hurting. Try to put it in your service. Till I let thank you for your service. Your Uber closer. You want to live, but I can't, so I ain't on your back. I pay when I been the old. See why we gon' take a sex back on that kill from the case. When the first said that my booty gon' fucking me like a demon. I just got a scene and I let it bitch come clean out.
I got seen to it that. You know, you can fuck with that bitch.
I mean, upset me, please watch out, quick, I make you sleep. Man, nigga bleed here, hit me out like bleeding out. Listen, I was good, stare like a really
Deep three-point territory. Tonight. KD passes to
Why you throw that shit that late, dude?
Iverson picks him up. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Kevin Durant.
How about LeBron's patience there? The defender biting.
I said, rain for the creek, I'm with that you. Look around and stay low, mess around, see. Catch some bad, walk down, facing with the heat. Your devil say, yo, forget you, I don't know where to see. Stressing when you can't see, bang on when I see you. Pressing me, you can't see. We got into the sea shoe. You won't have no kick me, right? Your sex me as they face you. You won't have no space me, yeah, your sex me to me, face you. So man, so I'm coming off the top. So they go to those, just fall down. They say we did wrong, we not come on. But if you got that leg, tell that bitch that that's his fault. Bitch, I don't feel that out. And I don't come to kill this fight. Put that bitch inside my drawers. Every time I walk the dog, I want you to so cities. You throw a diss and you get tossed. Say when you kiss that, my name up and I'm out. If they had a thing out of the store with my pop, I wanna know. I see this pop, I ain't seen this and joint. This makes me too power. Big pop, got that shit on me and I'm solo. Nigga knowing that it's for tower. That shit that cause a mess, man. I said, rain for the creek, boom, walking with that eagle creek. Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see. Get some bad, walk down, facing with that eagle. Got the devil in your feet, I don't know where to see. Stressing on you can't see, bang on when I see you. Bang on me, you can't see. We got into the sea shoe. You won't have no kicks, we range your shit, soon as they face you.
Everybody be asking me, man, does the show actually work?
Yo, you get a month for free. It's free. You can get 1 month for free. So you got nothing to lose, you got everything to gain. Try it, and you're gonna like it.
First meets the street, get involved, I wish you would, and you tell yourself.
And shut your bitch ass, dude.
see a bunch. Like I seen Brian Reynolds on one of these shows not too long ago.
You guys played together, right?
Yeah, this guy who like, says he's like my best friend. These guys it's weird, but
to get every one of his teammates involved in the offense here in the postseason. What a passing display.
A lot of people came from the Barkley and plenty of
102 left in the third quarter. Here's Johnson.
I have worked with Brian Winkler.
He's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here.
Never once
Great
did he
energy
say
on the deflection and a good job
that
disrupting their offense.
he's the best
Yeah,
friend.
appreciate the work
Who had a
right
better
now
week?
on the defensive end.
LeBron James or Stephen A. Smith?
And Miami has possession.
They both have an awful week.
And he gets it to go.
They both have an awful week.
Nice stroke on Iverson's jump.
LeBron-
He looks so confident taking that shot.
He's too big to be that type of bully.
Kobe against James.
To bully Stephen A. and to bully Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst is a sweet person, man. He's just trying to do his thing.
Leaving him open that time. That's
And I've always liked LeBron, but him being a bully, it turned me off, Dan. But I will say that Stephen A., the way he reacted was so lame and weak.
I do have
Another
a few
shot.
flips that I do
And
want to
it's
say
in
about.
after a nice bounce off the
People
right
try to
side.
put down some
And that's the
flips.
shot that makes
This
Kevin
flip right
Durant.
here,
Kevin
they
Durant,
said,
he's so
yo,
special from
I
the
wouldn't
mid-range.
find this for you if when you did this about you.
Brian,
LeBron against
that's
Kobe.
what LeBron said. But there's something that
James, the
he did
best in the
that stood out to you.
Here's Frazier.
The truth.
And that one released in
Okay.
time, but
And LeBron
and that's
gives
going
that.
to do it for the third quarter.
He makes a
It's
statement,
Dallas
gives
up
the
by
shake.
5.
That's
And
a tell.
when we
He's
return, we'll
laying
get
it
the
out. Now, I
fourth quarter
usually see the
rolling
truth
right here
shake
on 2K Sports.
in my January. I just had more background, you know. He his family, his sort of father that he gets, and knew his mother, Gloria. I knew his friends. I knew Maverick Carter. I knew Rich Paul. I knew Randy Mims. Like,
Here now
Or
a
they
chance
call
to show
themselves the
you
Fort
our
Worth
assist of the game.
Leader.
And it's presented as always by State
Why did
Farm.
you see them?
And the definition
That's a little
of teamwork
small
right there,
clip
guys.
of
I mean,
Wendy
what
acting
great
like
communication
LeBron
between
James
them.
does the
And what a
specific thing
beautiful
that
feat.
means
The
something.
coaches talk about it all the
People
time,
were
but to
saying,
be
like,
able
yeah,
to
that
play
was
with
kinda
that
weird.
kind of feel,
I don't think
nice play, collaborating, improvising, and
a lot of
organic.
people are speculating that it's from this clip, and when LeBron James had called out the way the game of basketball is being covered right now, and we all know that that's a big topic because Barkley, Shaq, Stephen A. Smith, and a lot of other people have been facing a lot of criticism for the way the NBA has been covered. Even Adam Silver came out and said this quote right here, as you guys can see. He was pretty much saying that, you know, when I do watch other sports, it seems to be like they hype up their sports and it's less critical than the NBA. So when they were having that conversation live on ESPN First Take, Gilbert Arenas was on the show and Wendy was on there as well on First Take. This is what Wendy said about LeBron James.
Everybody wants either over here or over here. Nobody wants to operate in the spectrum because it is both. I know it's not as fun to say both because LeBron can both say that I'm held to an unfair standard, and yet he chose to wear number 23. Mm-hmm. He said also in this clip, but we cut it out just for brevity. He also said, I never asked to be the face of the league.
Lies.
Of course he asked to be the face of the league. He signed a $90 million Nike contract, which he could have signed with Reebok for more money, by the way, but he signed with Nike. Why? Because of Jordan. So, yes, it is unfair at times to hold him to that standard, which, as you have described, is unimpeachable, but he also has invited it. So he is a billionaire because people across the world are attracted to the game. One of the reasons they're attracted to the game is because of the entertainment value that it brings beyond just before the ball going into the basket. So it would be more fun to take one side or the other and just scream at each other, face of the league, no I'm not, face of the league, no I'm not. But that's not reality. Reality is it's in the middle. That's where I go. That's why I don't get to have as much fun. But that is the truth.
So a lot of people was like, yo, this is the clip that got LeBron James upset. And I found another clip that was from a year ago where Wendy kind of went off on LeBron. And I think this is when LeBron James was probably fed up with Wendy. Let's check out this clip right here because Wendy had went off on LeBron. Let's check out this clip right here, guys.
But the thing about it is he's not comfortable being an underdog. It's not something he's done very often in his career.
And he really doesn't like it when a team has his number. I mean, he's changed teams in the past a couple of times when he's felt another team has his number. When the Celtics had his number, he went to Miami. When the Warriors had his number, he went to LA. The Nuggets have had the Lakers' number. What's his move? He doesn't really have a move.
So that's Wendy pretty much calling LeBron James a coward, right? And around that time when Wendy had said that, people were applauding Wendy for like saying, yo, about time somebody says the truth about LeBron and all of that stuff, right? So that right there goes to show you that Wendy is no victim in this situation, right? Because Stephen A. Smith was trying to say like, oh, you know, this is the guy that says nothing but good things. That's what everybody says. Kenny Perkins recently said it when he was doing his podcast Road Tripping with Richard Jefferson and Shannon Fry. He was like, oh, why would you go on Wendy? He says great things. You know, everybody repeat the same thing, right? But no, Wendy, he has been critical of LeBron recently, and it hasn't been this one time. It's been like this for a couple of years now. And you guys can go back and watch all of the clips. Wendy has definitely been very critical of LeBron. And he also revealed the truth about ESPN and how they formed a team to go at LeBron James after he had made the decision to go.
The hard goes Miami, leaving Cleveland, a franchise where you had already built relationships and connections, and now you're thrown into a new city to cover a different team, and you're doing it for a national outlet also, not as opposed to a local newspaper or something like that. Was there animosity from other beat reporters who had been there for years?
There was animosity from LeBron. He was not crazy about it. He didn't like the way ESPN handled the fallout from the decision. He felt like he got left alone on an island there. None of this is new information. It's been said for years. And he really didn't like the idea of ESPN creating a team of people just to cover the Heat, which was kind of revolutionary at the time, which I was the lead guy on. And it was pretty salty the first year. I mean,
that right there goes to show you guys there is there is a team of people at ESPN that specifically targets LeBron James. That was around the time when LeBron James went to Miami. We all know that ESPN first came to Miami shows and look how engaged he is on both ends. Obviously, here's Maxey. How much money that was coming and bringing in on the show, and that's the reason why they are still doing that. That's the reason why they started doing it to LeBron James, and that's why
Iverson's got 5 points in the quarter.
The last 3 shots put Iverson in some kind of mood, and he goes to the arc and delivers the answer.
And it's denied.
Other draft picks, we didn't hear
Anthony, the pass to Maxey. Got a hand on it.
And that's the reason why Michael
Here's
Jordan
Jordan.
just came out.
Nails the
and
wide open jump shot. Jordan's got 14 points now in the second half. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers. The hustle stretch for the Mavs.
Well, these other people that they see talking about the coach. Well, let's check out this quote right here from Michael Jordan about now. If you stuck around this name, guys, be sure to hit that like button. That really does
feel like another part of tonight's game has been the
let's check out this
hustle
quote.
points, getting up and down,
Got a quote
getting
from
second
NBA
chances, getting
Center.
transition opportunities. They've been fantastic in that area.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend.
And how? Brilliant throwdown. And Jason Kidd has called timeout. Wants to make sure everybody is coordinated and intent.
There were shows that talk about driving every day. There were shows that talking about. I don't care if my boss is getting up. They will try to get Tony and me to talk about it. No, they're not going to do it. They talk about him more than SGM. That's candid. It's all candid. Let me be clear. Our business is a piece of a lot of things. So that's the quote from Michael Jordan down there. And that's him calling on Stephen A. Smith for not standing up to his bosses. That's the reason why he said it. I don't care if my boss is good now. He specifically said that to Stephen A. Smith. He constantly said, hey, my boss has told me to talk about the LeBron James thing. My boss has told me to do this. My boss has told me to do that. Every day I wake up, I think of my boss is more money. You know, that's Stephen A. Smith, right? So that's the reason why I said that in particular. and also saying that you know what shows I'm talking about.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, DA.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Jason Kidd going over the plan with his team for the last few minutes. Likes the effort,
but yeah,
likes
man,
the
that's it
play.
for
He
today's
said,
video,
look,
guys.
we're rolling now,
Sorry I'm a
guys.
little bit under
Let's
the weather.
get that
If you made this
momentum
part
and
of the
keep
video,
it. Let's
hit
make
that
the
like
most
button.
of
It really
it
does
to
help
win
support
this
my
here.
YouTube channel. Can't thank you guys enough for that.
Thank you,
Give
David.
the comments section down below.
So
I would
it's
love to
Johnson
hear
who
your thoughts
brings
about
the
the
ball up
video as
for
well.
Miami.
Don't forget to hit that
Trailing
subscribe
by
button if
5.
you're new. Catch you guys in the next video. Right back. Peace.
Pass to Hastings.
This is how carries it should be. Affordable, convenient, and customized to you. Through him, you can get access to Dr. Trusted Street.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Breaking Kareem's record, which he held for 38 years. Hi, good morning, John. Good morning.
Good morning. It looks like you guys are having fun. How about Stephen A's entrance? His swag is on 100 right now. I just want to let you know I'm very lonely back in New York. So I'm holding it down here for you guys.
We appreciate you, JJ. We're excited. You're going to be with us a lot now after the Super Bowl, the NBA season approaching. Yeah, Essie dressed well today. I'll give him that. I want to say, do you say hi to the crowd?
Hastings, the pass to Durant. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Hastings. Over Nowitzki. Hastings, no good.
What you're missing, is that this brother didn't have to say hello. The moment I arrived, we been bothered. What's up, yo?
Trail by 9. From deep.
That's how it goes.
Right, let's get into that. Should I start with you?
Hastings
Do you view LeBron as the greatest scorer ever?
Hastings got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
The greatest scorer ever was Michael Jordan. And what we have to do is, as a society, we have to grow up and recognize the fact that just because you don't consider him the greatest scorer ever doesn't mean that he isn't one of the greatest players ever. It doesn't mean that he's not on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. Doesn't mean that he wasn't worthy of the celebration last night. And by the way, just as an aside, let me be the Grinch that stole Christmas, even though it's February. The damn Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, the man did everything else. Couldn't y'all have won the game against Oklahoma City Thunder? I mean, really? You're going to lose the game. I mean, Kobe. Let me explain why. Because Kobe was damn near 50 when he retired and dropped 60 on the night that they won the game. You know, I'm not blaming LeBron. I'm saying Anthony Davis with 14 points and Dennis Schroeder with 10 points. I mean, damn. Like, you should not have won the game. But let me get back to LeBron. Very, very worthy of all the
Still drawing contact.
First free throw is good, and that stretches their lead to 8. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 9-point ball game. 51 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Robertson against Johnson. Four on the shot clock. Miami needs to get a shot off. Here's the triple from Durant.
And how smart, just get the ball to KD and get out of the way.
A chance here to possibly put it out of reach.
This is when you really need to maintain your focus.
Second difference between shot clock and game clock. Robertson against Johnson. Dallas needs to get off a shot. A 3-ball. The shot that time not on target. So we see the Mavericks get the win here. A pretty good feeling right now for them to be out in front like this in the series.
You know, Kevin, momentum so critical. And you know they'll want to ride this wave into game 2.
So that's a wrap for the first game of the NBA Finals. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. And now our player of the game, Michael Jordan.
So Carmelo Anthony had to sit down on his podcast. It's a very interesting conversation. He was more so kind of having a recollection of what happened within his time in Houston. I saw a couple of snippets of it. I actually wanted to like deep dive into what exactly happened because you're talking about analytics, you know, how that changed everything that happened with him.
Guys, during an episode of the Great Club 520 podcast, shout out to those guys, Jeff Teague shared that analytics were to blame for his run in Minnesota. He explained that he got traded for taking mid-range jumpers, which went against what the Timberwolves analytics is playing. I feel like a lot shot at me with these. I mean, hey, you got a lot of.
I'm not gonna lie. I was reading this last night. Shout out to our producer Dom, and I was like, oh, no, I know we got T on this.
Oh, yeah. Something T said.
No, we got T on.
I'm sorry. See, according to Jeff, quote, analytics took blank him out. Mello, Rudy, do you guys have any stories from the analytics pushing you out of the game, or have you seen firsthand on teams you've been on?
That's a lot, Jim. Well, you know, I'm a mid-range guy myself, so you know, I've gone to situations where that wasn't allowed.
Don't be bad. Come on, when is this go? And how does this go? Because y'all are obviously good dudes all your careers, and suddenly somebody's like, "Hey, don't take that shot no more."
I mean,
how they told you?
That's not a good shot. That's crazy. If I make it, it's a good shot. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah. I mean, okay, we'll be real. Spurs didn't like it. Spurs didn't like it, and Utah didn't like it. But, you know, we was in the middle of that situation, like that whole sway of, like, what's a good shot, what's a bad shot. You know what I mean? So,
with the currification of basketball.
He was. Yes, Rudy Gay. I really was actually part of the problem. He was the guy. His mid-range shooting wasn't efficient. He wasn't as good as he probably about to make himself out. Because he was in part of the reason why his time in Toronto was so short-lived and why they transitioned so quickly is because he was taking a lot of mid-range shots and he was not translating to football. And that's a part of what's wrong with him, especially at the you know, and what's funny, they actually got somebody who was far better at mid-range shooting.
It wasn't even easy for me to be like, yo, something I've been doing my whole life. I gotta stop doing it. No, this is what got me here. And that's where, you know, the tension, you know, with certain situations got for me. But I understand how you feel. But especially as a point guard. Right? Being a point guard, it's all the shots you got. All the shots you got. Then they took out the floater too, really. Yeah. Like, so, you know, it limits some people and it opens some people up. I think it made the game more, you know, less competitive.
So as a player,
especially when you go there, the Memphis Grizzlies became more competitive than some of the single-league. So did I guess if you're saying that because there's only like 2 places on the floor that you really have to defend you at, sure, but you effectively in Toronto got replaced by the mid-range shooting with DeMar DeRozan. You just did it far better than you. And even like Kyle Lowry and Valanciunas at the time, you got replaced by people who actually did exist in the middle. They became a better team. They became a more competitive team without you on the field. Matter of fact, even in Memphis, like you got replaced, not replaced, but they definitely shifted their focus to running the offense through both Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph. At a point in time, this is before Marc was shooting at 3. So they shifted their focus to players that were just more efficient in the mid-range area. The truth of the matter is you just weren't that good in the mid-range score to justify focusing on offense.
When they told you that, right?
Yes, and this was year what in the league?
Yes.
Keep going.
Some year 11, 12.
So you've been
11, 12. You've been doing it, but now you come back from being injured. Now you coming back from being injured.
Okay, so
but is your mindset? Because this is for play. Was your mindset like I gotta get to my spots because I gotta get to where I'm comfortable at? I gotta work on this. Fuck whatever. Not fuck what everything is, but I know they want corner threes, and I know they want this, but in order for me to feel good personally, this is my bread and butter.
But you know how it is when you're in the game. You gotta get to this spot. You gotta get to where.
That's why I asked that.
Right? See, the year prior, before I told my Achilles, I had George Carl. He was the same way.
Yeah,
I just didn't give a fuck. I was gonna do everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to me. But going to a different situation, coming off injury, and then having to fit into a different kind of system, culture.
That was a tough part. And they mind, they like, we can make him do it. We go. He's older. He's more inclined to do what we want him to do.
Right.
Without us even forcing it on him. Right? It was really like, and because you've been in the game and you're a vet, you're supposed to automatically in 5 years. Instead of corner three, but you want me to go do that? I'm going to try to do that. Okay. Now, if it's uncomfortable, don't force me to do it. Right? And I think that's the disconnect in this situation. Like at this point, they told him that's not a good shot. Right? In my situation, no. Right? It's a clip. Preseason, Houston. This is when they first told me. Okay.
Well, if we have that,
listen,
please.
It's funny. Man.
Can you break this down now?
So I get to Houston. Okay. And it's not always about me. Sometimes I say random shit. I get to Houston. The talk is you the missing piece. Right? CP, James, Tuck, Capella. You is the to that piece. Yeah, and Eric Gordon was there. And when we get there,
it was actually hilarious. I vividly remember
like a little mini camp. We go to the Bahamas and have a mini camp. So that's good, right? But we serious in the mini camp in the Bahamas because we know I'm coming here to win. Like I'm coming here to win. Y'all just had opportunity. This is why we're here. So we locked in mini camp. In mini camp, shit is happening. Get to preseason now. I think we like in Alabama, we about to play Memphis and shit like that. In my mind, I'm like, it's preseason. This first preseason game, I just want to let me find the rhythm. Like, let me get my legs up, let me shoot, let me turn around. Oh, you thought. But because in minicamp, this is what was going on. And now it looks like, oh, this is good. Oh, shit, we getting this. Okay, now we working. We get to preseason, and I just feel so good about like coming into this season and like I'm ready. I'm ready to go play for a championship. Man, I get it, shot fake, 1-2 dribble, pull up, bang. I'm like, oh, okay. Like now I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go this season. They like, no.
Take off your pants, Quinn, unless you'd rather watch us with your girlfriend. I stood there naked, facing my worst bullies as they got ready to go rough on my girlfriend. I followed this ritual for years. They make me clean filthy toilets and force me to drink from disgusting puddles, taunting me that it is piss, cackling as I choke. Every task is a fresh humiliation, designed to break me. I cannot show them my real power, not yet, because I have a dark secret to protect, a promise that I made to my dying mother. Son, don't ever reveal your secret to anyone until you find your catalyst. Keep it hidden until She died before she could finish the warning. Hurry up, worthless. Brad, the worst of the bullies, yanked my shirt. Your girlfriend's waiting for her daily show. Jennifer, my girlfriend, stood in the corner, her eyes everywhere but on me. Once, those eyes had looked at me with love. Now they hold pity, or worse, indifference. Kiss me, my love, Brad ordered her, pointing to himself. Jenny, don't. My protest earned me a sharp slap. She stepped forward, pressing her lips against Brad's. My stomach churned, but I remained silent. They could strip my dignity, but they couldn't take my secret. I wasn't really a level 0. I just needed to find that thing, the catalyst. Weeks passed, but I could never recover. And then came the day that shattered everything. I was passing through the East Wing when there were some voices. One was familiar, too familiar. God, Alex, you're amazing, Jennifer murmured. Alex, my best friend, was making out with Jennifer, my girlfriend. Alex, what the hell are you doing with my girl? I shouted. Jennifer pulled away, startled. Quinn, what are you doing here?
Shut your bitch ass up, man.
With the pump fake and one dribble inside of the wall, too, and he makes it. That's been his game his whole career, but look at him smiling. And go, my bad. He tells the bench, my bad. He knows.
you know what I'm saying? I'm so serious when I say that has to be like the most difficult. I mean, things to try to address mid-career. You go from one style of play that you've always done your entire career.
I think KD coming to the Dallas.
Oh, the Dallas?
Some itchy, man. Just, I don't feel right.
Kyrie, KD, AD.
Yeah. You think you can?
I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of it, bro. He's not even winning. I'm tired of it.
Tired of what?
That. Look what we said. I'm tired of it, bro. That's why I like.
Were you tired of the Bulls?
That's why I say I like that.
Were you tired of the Bulls dynasty? No. Were you tired of
a dynasty? A dynasty is different. A dynasty,
were you tired of the Warriors?
Like the Warriors is a dynasty. I can deal with Steph, Clay, and Ray, but I can deal with Steph, KD, and Luka. I'm not.
Go back. You said you can deal with
Steph, Clay, Ray. I'm just saying, though. I'm saying other than that,
they've got Kevin Durant and it's Iverson
I like
in at the point.
Okay. We're going in this spot.
Take a look at the Heat down 1-0 in this series. How crucial has it been tonight? How crucial?
Whoever's in that spot, we're going to still win. So it's a big difference. But no, I like Clay, Steph, and Clay better than I like all them fucking superstars. That's not a winning team. I know it's threatening. That's not threatening. But if you look at these niggas losing, they're losing.
That's because they don't know that the people that's picking the teams don't know how to pick the superstar. Go ahead, they got losing. They don't know how to pick the superstar. So when you talk about the NBA legacy, you think about them teams, right? When you talk about the 80s Lakers, and they try to use the stigma of nobody. 3 #1 picks on the same team. That is true. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, Magic #1 pick. Wow, Kareem is there, who was that #1 pick. Right? And then they win a championship, lose, and then they get James Harden, who was the #1 pick. Right? So what I'm saying is, you got the dynasty. Then you had Boston, dynasty. The only get it out of the mud team was the Detroit Pistons, like the Bills, and Chicago. Then they became a dynasty. They was plug and play. Okay, as long as you want to go with your glasses and shit, you're going to get Vince Rodman crazy ass. Right? So you're just plug and play. That's what Golden State was. It's just plug and play. You got your core that play well together, and you're just staying in it. We don't worry about that. I'm just saying, that's #1 pick, so they ain't going to get the, like, who's best players and bigger on the team. That's different. You right. They didn't need to. I don't need to bring you over. Goddamn it! I got 3 #1 picks. I mean, think about it. I got 3.
That Brooklyn team, though, they lost. But that's what they got hurt. They got hurt. They still lost. They got lost. Now they got hurt. It's not the same without 30. I'm telling you, they the same. They try to make the same with 30.
You gotta put the conversation. They lost because they got hurt, not because they.
That's not why. No, this is what I'm gonna say. They lost. They did get hurt. They lost. Like, it's not because they got hurt. They lost. It's 2 different things. It ain't they got hurt because they got lost.
Yeah, no, they got hurt.
Oh, and he got fouled on his way up.
Did you not watch what they were doing?
Kevin Durant. First trip to the line for him here.
You didn't see what they did to Boston?
Didn't they get bounced first round after that?
No, I'm saying, did you see what they did to Boston in the first round? No. Did you see what they did to the Milwaukee Bucks? Did you see what they did to the Milwaukee Bucks? The team that won the championship. They
won this Boston.
No, I'm just saying. There was a score 125 to 86.
At a very high level, which is simply
it was another level. Then everybody got hurt. Kyrie went down. James was trying to hold off until the next round. When Kyrie came back, he had to come. And when Kyrie went down, he had to come back, and he just out there on one leg. Like, I mean, don't come on, man. Don't do that narrative. Them motherfuckers is gonna win that championship. There's nobody stopping them, man. They beat the them first 2 games. Bucks wasn't even in there.
exceptional
What they found, let's just be honest. Well, they found a way. You did not look at the ball. Oh my God, this is a great ass. They found a way to get there. Playing against them in the playoffs.
That makes the turnover hurt.
Man, how long he got hurt after that? How long he's there? He got hurt. He said 2 years after that. Oh, no, one more year. They got two more. He played 55 games the next year. Then, where do you stop it, man? And he's getting older. And that's I just said injury time. I mean, I can see if the three main stars played 72, the 80 games each, and they lost, but that hasn't been the case. But I ain't tired of saying, what that KD. I'm not tired of shit. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. I'm not tired of shit. If KD decided to come to LA, God damn it, shit. What's happening? When I give up all you dumb? Yeah. You better fix it. Is you dumb? Hell yeah. Wait. Hell yeah. Is you dumb? Those guys are what can you have? It don't matter. Wait.
I'm not giving up Austin Reeves to KD. It's something stupid. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Austin Reeves does way more than KD does. He handles the ball. He passes the ball. He scores the ball. He plays defense. And he guards the best player on the fucking team.
KD out there sniping. Easy money sniper. Are you serious? That's ass over. That's KD, 42 nigga. They can't play down. Slow down. Slow down, but the offense is going to get I guess they defense down. I guess they defense zone. No, that shit ain't worth. That shit ain't worth. That's why I ain't losing. You're the reason they keep losing. I guess you're the reason they keep losing. No, baby. You're the reason they keep losing. You're the all-star because he like the other people. No, but also the way he plays basketball is a little different. KD gonna be huge. Austin Reeves turned 27 to make KD turns 37. Cool. You asked me, will I trade him? And I said, yes. That's another ring
Great anticipation on the steal. Once he's on the break,
I know I ain't caught him in my I don't need no limit.
Yeah, they gonna win without KD. You know you think they gonna win if they had.
Just how old that's
Frazier, the pass to Olajuwon. Johnson with a double team. 55 seconds left in the first. Here's James. Dallas, no good that time either. Here's Gilmore. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Oh, rejected by Jordan.
with defensive prowess and nearly a 7-foot wingspan, it's a lot harder to get a clean look on Jordan than most guys.
Second team foul. Substitution on the court.
.36 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. There's the drive. Frazier. It's good. And he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play opportunity. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
Now at the line for your backers. What's up? Frazier. Shooting one.
So it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for the Miami Heat. It's a three-point game. Shot and game clock separated by 5. The three from DeRozan. And the rebound goes to Dallas. Danley passes to Nowitzki. And he goes in for the dunk.
Hey, who needs a 40-inch vertical? That throwdown from Dirk, good enough for me.
Up in time. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials getting together here. They may want to review this one.
To review the play.
The previous play is under review.
And did he get the basket off in time or not?
And the video is going to be sent to the officials from the replay center in Secaucus. It looked like he got it off in time, though. But to me, it's worth being certain.
And that's why we have replay, to get these big calls right.
After review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
So the replay was conclusive. Call overturned. Grant, that one's going to count.
And BA, you can argue against replay all you want, but at the end of the day, you want it to be a level playing field. You want the call to be correct.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Mavericks ahead, leading by 3. And back to the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And the energy is palpable in this arena. Welcome back to the NBA Finals on 2K Sports. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Mavericks.
Give it up for their D. They're battling, communicating, and coming up with key stops.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
Setting the floor for Miami. They've got Kevin Durant. Johnson is out there with Kobe Bryant. Then it's DeMar DeRozan, and it's Cousins in at the center position. Here's Moncrief. Oh, and Bryant with a block.
Great defense that time by Kobe. Elite at that end of the floor, too.
Harris with a rebound. The Mavericks lead by 3.
And that's 2 fouls for him so far. But I still think he needs to stay aggressive.
So both teams changing it up here.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Danley, defended by DeRozan. Here's Robertson. Sweet little floater. Robertson's got his second basket on the night.
And their offensive game plan is clear. Get it inside and go to work.
Over to the left wing. DeRozan outside. 5 to shoot. Pass to Iverson. With the drive. Blocked.
Beautiful thing to watch there. Parrish with great anticipation and timing to get to that shot and deny it.
And you got to be in awe of incredible defensive efforts like this.
Yeah, this is the elevated energy level you expect in the postseason. Chasing down blocks and making an impact.
And so it's Dallas with it. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Pass to Frazier. Here's Robertson. Lets the 3 fly. Drops in the 3. Robertson's got 7.
Yeah, you know, we know this about Frazier. Tremendously creative, both as a scorer and as a playmaker.
And Eric Spoelstra decides to call timeout. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. Jordan's checked in for the Mavericks. Here's Hastings. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Driving to the basket, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Strong finish to cut into that lead a little.
Man, left no doubt with that one, Grant.
Well, I tell you what, he loaded up as much power as he could behind that 2-hand.
Now here's Jordan. The floater. He can't hit that time. Heat trail by 6. There's a whistle. That goes on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul.
I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
And not afraid to put his body on the line either. He took a shot for the team in that situation.
Pass to Nowitzki. The 3 is up. Gilmore grabs the miss. Gilmore's got 4 rebounds now. Oh, got that one up quick. And now just a 3-point Maverick lead.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
And despite the height disadvantage, oh my, he just attacks that interior.
You know what, guys, honestly, I didn't think he'd win that battle. I mean, that's a lot of height to give up.
So it's Miami now. After the Mavericks picking up a basket just a moment ago. Hastings, the pass to Gilmore. 6 on the shot clock. Durant's shot is off.
Not his best night, and not the team's best night. Sometimes it just goes that way.
All right, guys, what do you think so far on the offensive approach for Dallas?
To me, it's been the ball movement. That's been the key. I mean, going from good to great. Not settling for a good shot, making that extra pass, keeping the defense off balance, and taking great shots.
You have to like the fact that they're not settling at all. I mean, they've really made a point to get the ball down inside and challenge that interior defense.
And the Mavericks making a change here. James is checked in. Here's Robertson. Sinks another one. He's on a roll, starting 4 for 4.
There's a touch of artistry to the floater. Takes feel as much as skill.
Carmelo Anthony imposing his will inside. Doesn't take any time. Rising up for the dunk.
Now, here is James. No points so far.
Us as wrestling fans,
Parrish.
we have things that we like, we have things that we don't like, things that we are possibly ashamed to admit to the public, that we don't want to admit that we're a radio show fan. We don't want to admit that we don't like Tony Romo, whatever the thing may be. So that is what this series is all about. This, ladies and gentlemen, is confessions. For example, Sooner fan, by the way, thanks everybody for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for supporting the channel. Sooner fan says Cody Rhodes is the most winning champion I've ever seen, with an exclamation point. That is serious. Says I'll even bypass any Cody matches. Heel champions are a better watch than face champions. Do you agree or disagree? Here's the thing, that's the bet. You say I'm like this one, you're doesn't get the match, maybe a little bit, but barely any. I understand. I'm like the therapist. I understand where you're coming from with all of this. Sometimes these champions do feel more. Babyface champions often are an issue, aren't they? We don't always like our babyface champions because they hold belt for maybe too long in a modern era. I understand and can empathize. See, I understand that Cody can be a winning champion. We love Cody. That's awesome. But I can see where other fans are coming from when they say, I don't like Cody. You're like, you know what? There's a lot of promos. There's a lot of just standing and yelling like John Cena and other people. Not a lot of wrestling. Sometimes real streaky, sad things like he's going to cry. It's a little too much sometimes. So long big promos, very Shakespearean. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's an unparalleled TV song, and I cringe every time I hear it. If I'm watching a show on replay, I fast forward through Cody's entrance every time. Oh, no. I'm not personally, I'm not that guy. But I see where you're coming from, with people being like, I'm over this thing. And he's like, but you know what? Hey, the live kind of fans, I've been to WWE shows live, and Cody's entrance, they're a big pop, huge pop. Can't deny the pop. And I also will. Past regulation says that Cena heel turn, I don't like it. Typical new people mess. Cody should have on-site energy for Cena. Should have on-site energy for Cena. This is the part of RuPaul. There's a word that's having to earn a long time. The walk of totally unnecessary is just an angry man. See what you're saying. I've had 2 promos now of John Cena on Raw. The first one, it's a lot of, I want to see what he's going to say, and yes, it was a lot of you people, especially that one kid. The second one was more of the you people explaining it, doubling down on it, but then also talking kind of like CM Punk, I'm going to take that championship, I'm taking it home, brother. So I'm intrigued by it. I just don't want another week of it. I know we're going to get more Cody Cena. I don't want another you people promo. We need action now, in my eyes. So we need to now start involving this thing. I've said this on other shows, you guys are watching it all, but I'm kind of like, why haven't Cody just smacked back in the face? Because of how you did the beatdown. You didn't get any come up and vote. And yet they want to stretch it out. You know, it's the story. You want to play this thing out long term. I get it. You got a couple of weeks, and half the audience here is going to say, you need to play it out. But I kind of agree with you. It's like, what is playing it along? We haven't even talked about it. Scott Van says, we must get rid of Def Rebel and get better music. The wrestler in need of a music change the most is Ron Greger's generic rock music.
Now we head back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third.
That's with you that I think Def Rebel is bad. And I think that Titantrons are bad for WWE. Get a little better with some people, but I feel like a lot of wrestlers are missing that iconic theme music
that really speaks to people. But there are a lot of them you can really kind of.
And let's get you back to the action as game 2 is getting underway.
The superstar, Jay, Cody, Punk, Randy. There are Kevin Owens. There are a number of superstars where you hear their music and it's going to be that pop reaction. But there are others on the card where I'm like, I don't know what the thing is. Braun Breaker's also one. I agree. This Braun Breaker just to stop. Just give him a siren, a big old siren, get rid of the ugly bars, and make the big more of a big pop of pump than just shitting with the buses and all that. He's just getting all jacked. Oh, here's an interesting one from Jason. It says, I see Raw being on Netflix. And I saved that when it premiered on Netflix. The Rock just took forever, and that was a bummer, so yeah. And I don't like seeing a heel turn. It sucks. It's not really happened to me. I'd rather watch LFG on it. Oh my gosh, no, that show is so accurate. Although I do like Gruber, like running people down and the Bully Ray always entertaining to me. But there's people why you don't like it on Netflix. I'm of two minds. There's a tradition in me of just like I want to sit down and 8 p.m. and I want to be able to turn on regular cable television because I'm in the bag. But I come around to it. Here's what I don't like about it. Someone else mentioned this in the comments here, maybe it's me and I will confess to this myself. I don't like that they are YouTube things on Netflix. It's Netflix. Like, I don't understand the logistics, the contracts, anything at all. But what I do understand is they were saying only and they would say other F-bombs and things, and it's kind of off mic maybe, like Seth Rollins and Punk in the cage and swearing at each other, and he's getting middle fingers, they give middle fingers back to each other, and my middle finger's better than their middle finger, and then they took the block. What was saying is, stop it. It's Netflix. I think that's, I don't like that. But I do like, I like people on Netflix. I like to go to scrub and go back and forth, like it's DVR, they sound like these, it's all over. But I'm okay with that. Here's the other thing. I'm a Canadian. I'm a proud Canuck with the puck. And you know what? And we're here in Canada, we get all of it in one little spot. Oh yeah, it's like your team's just all ready to go. Drive through, but yeah, big time. Brisket Man says, I have never understood the hype surrounding Dion, and I think she's overrated and overpushed to being a character. My goodness. I don't know. Beyond that, I think Beyond has had. She only was big name that spotlight on like last year. She was Jade. I can see where they're coming from. I personally think Bianca is a big deal. I don't think they have a lot of big main event star caliber people right now. Like Tippy Top. Like, it's Bill Mula. That's it. As the mainstream YouTube says this. To be honest, from the bottom of my heart, he says, I really don't like the Yeet thing. And it's my opinion that I don't think Jey Uso deserves to be world title in a world title match at the grandest stage of them all. So here's the thing. The internet is a very loud bubble echo chamber, right? And online social media is a disaster. And I'm barely on it anymore.
And both free throws good for Jordan.
And I see comments every day of people being like,
fighting for his team.
Here's Iverson. 9 points in the game. It's tipped. Here's Robertson. Uncovered. Kevin Durant with a rebound.
All alone from mid-range. You gotta think he's kicking himself.
And Jordan comes to help. That's tipped. Here's Robertson. 13 points in the game. James, that's good.
Well, I tell you what, you better track Bron all
I make that shit.
over the floor. Well, he's going to make you pay.
And so it's Aaron Spoelstra with the timeout here. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players.
Some people just don't like some high internet wrestling. They like how Bob says, people want to read live, even about his sport.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Frazier's checked in. And Miami with a change here too. Johnson's checked in.
I understand what animation is saying here. It doesn't, like the weak thing, it could be that it's a lot of work when you're at home and you're trying to play along with it. It could be that he's in the live crowds every week, like Green Shirt Guy, and he can't keep doing this all the time. Or it's just a matter of that it's tiring to watch all the time. Here's what I'll say in defense of my guy Animation. And maybe because they're just in Europe, they haven't done the crowd, Jey Uso crowd entrance. They haven't done that for the last few weeks. Could be just because of the Lance division. That's very, very likely. They did all the US. But I will confess to you guys that I was getting tired of Jay's big arena entrance. I get it. It's great for the live crowd. They love it. If the Jay Superstars right there, oh my God, look at them. We're all doing the thing together. I'm like, you're at home. I'm the guy on the watch being like, Jay's whole entrance is like 9 minutes before anything happens. And I need it right now. Just thinking about it. He gets in there, and Jay's out of breath. It's clearly over for him. I'm in my words here. That's so cool. Continue all this shit. You don't think he deserves a little title shot? I don't think that the booking has been there. I saw Jay reading an interview, and he was getting maybe Sports Illustrated or something, but he was getting an interview talking about, like, hey man, like, I'm at the very top, and people don't know, so there's a lot of people, I got 3 leagues, everybody else has like 20 leagues, and they're deserving to be in the spot too. But I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. Deserve is very nebulous because it's like, it's a scripted TV show. You don't get anybody a chance to if they actually want to. But, you know, he gets reactions they go for years, and those crowd reactions, some of what matters a lot nowadays. Not saying that's right, but I'm just saying it's a factor. The feel for Bieber and Jay has been uninspiring. I mean, the next one I've got a problem with. I'm not mad, I'm not mad. So we got a couple of free throws coming up. Delcinello says, I secretly hate Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's my advice to myself right now. I appreciate you coming to. Marcus says, I secretly skipped the women wrestling part of all the video because I don't understand the storyline in female wrestling in WWE. I mean, isn't it the same storyline as the men? I don't get why, like, maybe you want to fast forward certain things, like matches or something that speak to you, and or women, but you just say, I'm just saying the story in the female wrestling. Yeah, and Io and Bianca have almost the same storyline as Punk, but it's
34 seconds left in the third.
There's time on the ball. It's triple threat. They like each other. You lose to each other. Things in the way, brother. Jamie Rex. Hi, Jamie. Jamie's a great sport of the show for like, right. Jamie says, I not so secretly hate that they still leave Holy Leadership Chance and even on Netflix. It's so antiquated and sponsors. Kids aren't dumb. They know what's being said. I think it draws more attention to it by grouping it. It makes me feel in the moment, and I absolutely hate it. I really in the previous comment about this too, Jamie. But yes, I will double down on this. Saying you're totally right in my eyes. That I'm like, hey, it doesn't make sense. We all know what they're saying. And you're on a streaming platform. Just lean into it. I don't need Raw. This was the conversation back when Raw was going to Netflix that they're going to do it. People were like, it's going to be rated R. As everyone's just going to be gushing blood and there's boobies everywhere and all that. And that's really not the case. The product really hasn't changed that much. They've done a little bit more. I mean, if The Rock comes on TV,
now as we take a look at our State Farm assist to the game.
And
I'll tell you what, this was a no-brainer tonight.
Take a look at the precision on this. And yes, it's going to take you out of it. I know it's been set. There's a 9-year-old watching this. They get it. They know that the Seth Rollins flipped off CM Punk. But when you black out, also the timing is terrible. And if you look at your production team's going to get the timing down, now you get some live and like, you can't predict that these guys are going to drop that bomb all the time. But if you can't kind of manage that in a way that's like, it just breaks up the flow of the viewer, then just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just go at the episode's beginning, you're like, what they used to do, right? And it was like, bring it up. It was pretty cool. For Ben says, I'm going to be honest. Good. It's a healthy place for this. The product isn't popping out as much as I want. I'm not really excited for doing it as well. So, with that, I do have another video that I'm going to be doing very, very soon on the current product. I'm really leaning into WrestleMania. I am also feeling what you feel. I am not over the moon with WrestleMania this year. A lot of multi-man matches. The stories have not been that compelling. Charlotte won the Royal Rumble. Meh with Tiffany. I think putting Tiffany as a babyface is a bad idea. And I think it's going to get kind of mid-reactions. And then you have on the men's side, Jay won the Rumble, and the build has been kind of uninspiring. However, I will say we have a couple of weeks left because there's always people in the chat and the comments and be like, you got to let it play out, brother. It's going to get way better. Or some people love it. Yeah, that's great. For me, I think that it's been going on way too long and they need to do more. I'm excited what they're going to do with Jimmy. I'm curious. And I wonder if they will help. That will help because they could do something cool on this subject for a second.
Gunther and Jimmy, you get really vicious and nasty and have Gunther handcuff Jay and watch Gunther beat down Jimmy. Something next level. Like Triple H, Randy Orton, Stephanie McMahon, you know, Triple H got handcuffed and then Randy did things to her. You need to elevate that. I do feel that a lot of it has not been that inspiring. You have talkie segments after talkie segments every single week. One thing I will say that I think is hurting Mania's build, because I think it's been pushed out later than it has like last year and years prior, like date. So they have way more shows, a couple of more shows anyways, that they have to fill the gaps in for. What I'm not enjoying is this whole coming out on Raw or SmackDown and talking about how we're going to talk about something next week. Don't do it. Do something different. Get more creative. You're a billion-dollar company. Like, do a sit-down cinematic thing at Seth Rollins' house and CM Punk comes in and breaks his window. I'm talking Triple H, Randy Orton again. Steve Ager says, the pull-apart trope is overused. Most WrestleMania matches have the same week-to-week build. I kind of agree. I will say I'm a little tired of it's the Triple H pull-apart brawl. That trope. Vince had his things, and Triple H has his things. I will not sit here and be like Triple H is, the greatest booker we've ever had, and also there's a creative writing team there too, right? So they're going to have input. I feel that the pull-apart brawl is a crutch. How do we get out of this segment? How do we spice it up? I feel like, especially on the road to WrestleMania that we've been on, feels like every show, not necessarily the case, but it feels like every show there's a pull-apart brawl. People are coming in, Adam Pearce comes down, Nick Aldis, and there's a spread, we rip them apart, and then they jump over, and they try to smack each other a little bit more, and they go off the air. Like the Seth Roman Punk one, that fell flat for me. I was like, okay, it's a pull-apart brawl. We've seen this endlessly. Like, get a new way. Can we just have, once in a while, the good old days of guy slides in, someone's doing a promo, and the enemy slides in from behind and hits him with a sledgehammer in the back of the head, hits him with a chair in the back of the head, and gets down on the ground and gets maybe a little more vicious, and there's a little bit of blood, and the bad guy is standing over with the microphone and just yelling at them and why they're going to win and take this belt and shove the belt in their face. Something aggressive that doesn't just turn into Adam Pearce having to go down and say, no, don't do it. Don't do another tsunami. No, oh, he did it again. Oh, get away. None of our security, you're so slippery. Pull parts are overdone. By the way, there's so many confessions in here. I appreciate it. So I'm probably going to have to do a second video on this. But thank you. Bad Robot says, The Miz doesn't get enough credit. The IWC, internet people, and many YouTubers, oh no, hate him, but he's not a bad wrestler, and he's great on the mic. Miz is great on the mic. Miz is a solid wrestler. I always hear like the critiques of like he's a safe worker. I'm like, well, what's wrong with you being safe and not getting injured all the time to prolong your career? Look how long he's been around. And Miz has gone like up and down in my eyes, like in terms of popularity. Like he's had years where crowd boos him, which is the point, and then you have times where people really get behind him.
And the Lakers Nation, the Lakers got the big win last night over the Memphis Grizzlies. I was there in the building. Want to give you guys my reaction to the game. J.J. Redick's leading with his big three before the game. Wesley told us about that. We'll talk a little bit about the offense overall, the defense. I know a lot of people are still worried about the Lakers defense. I'm going to give you my reaction to that situation from last night as well. We'll take a look at the standings and everything else. I'm Trevor Lane. Make sure you guys do subscribe right here. Lakers Nation YouTube channel. All right, let's get into it. So first and foremost, the big thing that came out of last night's game was the meeting of the big three. And the Lakers' big three, and I think it's pretty safe officially, all of that, all of the big three, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, that is their big three. Now, JJ Redick shared with us in the media, and you're on board, I wrote this up to the Athletic, but shared with those of us in the press room last night that he had a meeting with the three of them after the loss to the Chicago Bulls. And they met Saturday morning, yesterday morning in Memphis to talk about what's been going on with the team. But obviously a crushing loss to the Chicago Bulls, an annoying, frustrating, rage-inducing, whatever term you want to use. There's not a good loss to the Bulls. So they met, and JJ said he challenged them, all three of them, when we get to the three-man actions, to play with a little more force, a little more thrust, and a little more creativity. So what the Lakers are trying to do, because I talked about this the other day. Right now, this is not good. It's too early to jump to conclusions, but right now the Lakers are net negative with their big three on the floor, with Austin, LeBron, and Luka on the floor. They're net negative right now. That's not good. Now, again, it's way too early to jump to any conclusions. LeBron is just coming back from injury. It's going to take time for them to kind of sort everything out and figure out the offense running the floor. So, yeah, by no means am I saying sound a panic alarm or anything like that. No.
Don't.
We're not doing that. But
what you know for sure is that we've been talking about for years on this channel. The LeBron Reeves connection always worked. It was better than the AD.
You need all three of them together. And so that's part of what this was about. Saying, hey, play with more force. Play with a little more creativity. Luka, but we got to get the three of you going
obviously,
at the same time. That's going to be important here. Now, Austin, after the game, said, I think the meeting was just still trying to build that chemistry amongst the three of us to help the team be successful. I think tonight it shows that when we play the right way and trust one another, especially offensively, we can have open looks on almost every possession. It was really just a conversation about how bad all of us want to win and win at a high level. So that's it, right? This is about getting the best out of the three of them and getting them to understand that not only do we need the best out of the three of you, but when we get that, everyone will feast. We're going to get open looks across the floor when we get all three of you going. And that's exactly what we saw last night against the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's talk a little bit about the Lakers' offensive production. We'll get to the defense in a minute where I know there's still some concerns. Let's talk about the Lakers' offensive production in last night's win of the Grizzlies. Now, 134 points they scored in this game, so obviously that's plenty. That'll work, right? 134 points scored. You'll take that. Now, they gave up 127. Again, we'll talk about that in just a minute. But then you look at this, and it's remarkable how similar the stat lines are for LeBron, for Luka, and for Austin. So you take a look here, and we've got finishing the game with 34 points, leading the way. But by the way, I mean, the big three, Austin Reeves is the lesser-known name, right? Obviously, compared to Luka and LeBron. And yet lately it's felt like when they need a big bucket, like Austin's kind of become the go-to guy. We saw it against Chicago, we saw it against Memphis. When they needed a big play, Austin was typically the guy to produce that. So interesting the way the dynamic is. But right now, Austin Reeves, 31, 7 and 8. Luka Doncic, 29, 8 and 9. LeBron, 25, 6 and 8. I mean, the consistency across it is incredible how similar their stat lines look. All three guys are giving scoring. All three guys are giving assists. All three guys are giving rebounds. And then you look, all three of them recorded at least one steal. They're getting the job done out there. They also each only had 3 turnovers, which given their high usage rate is not bad. In fact, we go take a peek at the usage rate from last night's game, and we can see that we look at usage, LeBron 27.4%, Austin 25%, Luka 28%. So very, very similar. They are divvying things up pretty evenly between the three of them. But it's not just about those three. Obviously, all three of them had successful games last night. It's not just about those three, though. Look at what else happened. And this is what JJ Redick talked to us about after the game, about how he felt like, and he was telling his team, look, we're getting all the looks we want. Keep doing that, and we're going to be okay. Let's try to get some stops. But offensively, keep doing what you're doing because we're getting the looks that we want every single time. So, really hot tomorrow. 3 of 5 from D. Got 5 attempts from 3, right? Dorian Finney-Smith, 3 of 7 from D. Got 7 attempts. Gabe Vincent, 4 of 6 from D. got 6 attempts, and he started the game hot. So when you think about that, all 3 of your major scoring contributors off the bench in this particular game, Willie, Finney Smith, and Gabe, all 3 of them had a high volume from behind the arc. Why is that? Well, it's because the Grizzlies were so focused on trying to keep the Lakers out of the paint that the Lakers were getting corner threes all night long. They were getting whatever shot they wanted, so 43 attempts from 3, and most of those were wide open. So there's a couple of things to consider here. And number one is that this is what it can look like. This is how easy, really how Tomorrow talked to us after the game about how easy it is playing with LeBron, Luka, and Austin, because you're just going to get wide open looks all game, every game. Dwayne Finney-Smith even joked that Luka was sitting just off camera next to him. Watch that video. Even joked that Luka gets mad at him for not shooting the shots when he's supposed to shoot them. And you know, he was kind of ribbing Luka for yelling at him. And everybody from there has talked about how easy it is, because all they have to do is hang out there and wait for the defenses to forget about them, and they're going to get wide open looks because they're so focused on LeBron, Luka, and Austin. So not only are they getting that, but J.J. Redick also made a somewhat controversial decision. I saw it on across social media. People were not happy about it. He pulled Jackson Hayes late in the game. He pulled Jackson Hayes, and he went small. If you look at the minutes for Dwayne Finney-Smith, 35 minutes for him. You look at the minutes for Rui Hachimura, 28 minutes for him. You also had 10 minutes for Jared Vanderbilt. Meanwhile, Jackson Hayes, for long his average playing just 17 minutes, has been playing more around the 24-minute range lately. And a lot of people are saying, oh my God, so Lakers are too small. And when you're playing up against Memphis, and Memphis has Zach Edey, they've got Jared Jackson Jr. out there, the thinking is, uh-oh, we're undersized, this is going to be a problem. 5 offensive rebounds for Zach Edey, case in point. Right now, the Lakers actually didn't lose the offensive rebounding battle by much, 9-8. They lost the offensive board battle, so that's fine. But Zach Edey, 5 offensive rebounds. You got Jared Jackson, he had some success scoring in the paint, 8 of 13 shooting from him, 3 of 4 from 3. And you go, uh-oh, is this the right decision late? And then Dwayne Finney-Smith got 1 or 2 big rebounds. The Lakers, the floor spacing mattered, and part of the reason why they didn't get those open looks is we saw at points earlier in the game where the Memphis defense would be focused on sending as much as they could at Luka and Austin LeBron, following them up in the paint, sending multiple defenders into the paint when LeBron would spin both to them. And that's maybe discussed how LeBron missed some uncharacteristic looks right at the rim, but it's hard to punish them for that. Remember, I talk all the time about punishing teams for their focus. It's hard to punish them for that when the kick out behind the 3-point line is to Jackson Hayes or is to Jared Vanderbilt. And so that's why I think we saw JJ realize that, hey, the way I'm going to beat, they may have a bit of a size advantage, but the way I'm going to beat this Memphis defense is by playing guys who can shoot, is by playing my guys that when they focus all their attention on LeBron, on Luka, on Austin, I need somebody that's going to knock down that shot. And the way the Grizzlies were plugging the paint, it made that Luka to Jackson Hayes lob not very available. I think they had one the entire, they did have one. Jackson Hayes only had 2 points. And so there were a few times where the ball got swung out to Jackson Hayes. He's behind the 3-point line. He's not going to shoot that shot. Then it turns into a dribble handoff, and then things kind of get gummed up from there. And the same is true with Jared Vanderbilt. So I do think there was some method to the madness. People were frustrated that the Lakers played so small, but Vanderbilt playing 10 minutes, Jackson Hayes was playing 17, and Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith getting the lion's share of the minutes in this particular outing. I think it made sense based on the way the Grizzlies defense was playing. JJ essentially wagered that my offense getting wide open corner threes every possession is going to more than make up for whatever we give up on the glass by being small. And he was right. He was right. You know, the Grizzlies came back in the fourth quarter. They actually took a 4-point lead at one point, and then the Lakers came roaring right back, reclaimed control.